My name is Dr. Anand Tirthabegudi, Professor and Coordinator, PG Studies, Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, Global Academy of Technology, Rajarajeshwari Nagar, Bangalore. Today, the session related to digital electronics. Let us start with the introduction. In this particular session, we may be discussing the continuous or analog signals and discrete or digital signals, and also switching and logical levels, digital waveforms, number systems. In this particular number system, digital electronics deals with decimal number system, binary number system, converting decimal to binary, hexadecimal number system, in that particularly converting binary to hexadecimal and hexadecimal to binary. And later stages we may be discussing converting the hexadecimal to decimal and decimal to hexadecimal. Octal numbers deals with the binary to octal conversion. The first let us take continuous or analog signals. Continuous time signal has more value for every value of time. The time period can be from minus infinity to plus infinity. Continuous signal is also known as analog signal. In this particular slide, we have shown the continuous signal or analog signal with the sinusoidal waveform. The sinusoidal waveform is having its own amplitude and its time period duration t, that is represented as 1 divided by its frequency. Another way of defining the continuous or analog wave signal may be if a signal takes on all possible values on a finite or infinite range, it's said to be continuous valued function or analog signal. The discrete signal or digital signal. In discrete time signal, value is specified at certain specific intervals of time. Time interval need not be equidistant. For our simplification, we may take the equidistant samples, that is going to reduce our mathematical complexity or mathematical computation problems in future when we come across the digital signal processing. The discrete or digital signal can also be defined like if a signal takes on value from a finite set of possible values, if it is said to be discrete valued signal. Discrete time signal with set of discrete value is called a digital signal. When it comes to application and the advantages of digital signals, we can say digital signals are used extensively in communication systems, especially in digital communication systems, and also we are maybe using the digital signals for control and instrumentation systems and in computer systems. The main advantage, if I can say, digital signals are less susceptible to noise compared to the analog signals. Now we will move to switching and logical levels. A circuit is shown with a 5 volts of battery and a series resistance. Sometimes the series resistance may also be considered as its internal resistance of the battery. It means internal resistance of the battery, and a switch is connected in series with the battery and the circuit is closed. When the switch is off, it is going to represent the output state V0 equal to 5 volts. When the switch is on, it is going to represent the state of output, okay, that is equal to 0 volts. In digital circuit, variables which can require only 2 values are indicated as 0 and 1, invoking a branch of algebra known as Boolean algebra, and these are known as Boolean or binary variables. If switch conditions at the input off as 0 and on as 1. At the output, low as 0 and high as 1. Then at the input, applied 0 results in output 1 and input 1 results in output 0. Such circuits are called switching circuits. These kind of circuits are known as logic gates. This particular circuit is known as an inverter or NOT gate. Such an inverter symbolic representation is given. For example, if we are giving the input A and the output if you are indicating as Y, then Y is nothing but the complement of the input A, or it is the inverted of A. Then the truth table, if we want to write, then A input is equal to 1, Y at the output is equal to 0, and if the input value is 0 for the NOT gate, then output obviously it takes 1. The waveform nature at the input and the output are shown in the diagram. The first waveform, if you want to see, the first high is there, then it is going low, and next it is going high, and after that it is low. But when you are seeing the output value, whenever the input is high, the output waveform is showing the 0, and whenever the input value is at the input of the inverter is low, the output is showing high. Buffer, most of the times to match the impedance of the first circuit output and the next circuit input, a matching impedance matching device is going to be connected. That job is going to be handled by the buffer. When a large current I0 has to be fed to a load, then a buffer is connected between the output terminal of the gate and the load. That is the next circuit. Load may be a next circuit and the first circuit may be the logical gate. Buffer symbol and truth table are shown. Actually, the buffer is acting like a matching device. Since it is acting like a matching device, whatever the value A, we are going to give the same A as coming as the output Y. Hence, the buffer truth table can be indicated as A is equal to 0 and output Y is also equal to 0. A is equal to 1, output Y is also equal to 1. Now we will move to digital waveforms. In high state output, the digital circuit acts as a source which feeds the load. The circuit indicated is similar as in the previous slide what we viewed. So now the same 5 volts battery along with its internal resistance or series resistance, just it has shown along with a switch. Across the switch, the load resistance is connected. When the switch is open, what happens? When the switch is open, there is no current flow in the circuit because it is not going to create any closed path for the current flow. When there is no current flow, obviously the voltage drop across the series resistance is equal to 0. So because of that reason, whatever the value of battery voltage, that is going to appear across the load resistance. Next, we move to the another slide with the similar kind of circuit where the switch is closed. When the switch is going to be closed, at that time it is going to formulate a closed path for the current flow. Hence, when the current start to flow, there is a voltage drop across the series resistance. But since we are connecting the load across the switch, when the switch is closed, in this particular circuit, what we can define is the voltage across the load resistance is equal to 0. Once again, we will come back to the previous slide. Because when the voltage is high across the output termination, okay, the maximum value of output voltage is equal to 5 volts, and when the switch is closed, the voltage across the load resistance is equal to 0 volts. Now V0 high is less than 5 volts, say it can have a minimum value, that is V0 H is equal to 3.5 volts. This is going to be seen in the figure A. So whenever the switch is open, then what happens? The load current will start to flow, and the series resistance drop will be a small amount, maybe around 1.5 volts. Since because of that reason the load may be getting 5 volts minus of 1.5 drop at the series resistance. Hence V naught H minimum, okay, may be equal to 3.5 volts. Then in the next case, when the switch is short circuited, across the short circuit the voltage may be equal to 0. Therefore V naught L should be greater than high, but because of the voltage drop across the short circuit is equal to 0, okay, it may, even though it may be a short circuit, but that short circuit path may be having a small value of resistance. When the circuit is closed, the current start to flow through the short circuit, just we may expect around 0.2 volts drop. Because of that reason we can say the output voltage may not be equal to exactly 0, but output voltage may be equal to 0.2 volts. Hence we may be considering the V naught low voltage is equal to 0 and V naught maximum is equal to 0.2 volts. And then we are going to discuss the forbidden region. In this we are going to consider the V naught H minimum value and V naught low maximum value. So if you are going to subtract the V naught low, V naught maximum value in V naught H minimum, then automatically we are going to get the 3.3 volts. This condition is shown in this. So highest value of the output voltage may be equal to 5 volts and the minimum voltage at higher level may be equal to 3.5 volts. Similarly V naught L maximum may be equal to 0.2 volts and V naught minimum may be equal to 0 volts. So between 0 to V naught L, the whatever the logical level we are going to say that is equal to 0, and from V naught H minimum to plus 5 volts it is taken as logical high level. Between the V naught H minimum and V naught L maximum, what we are going to say, any output means any output stays between V naught L maximum and V naught H minimum, then that voltage cannot be considered as any logical level. Therefore such a logical level region is treated as forbidden region. Next we move to the number system. There are several number systems in practice, which are decimal number system, binary number system, octal number system, hexadecimal number system, etc. These systems are classified according to the value of the base of the number system. For example, the number system having the value of base as 10 is called decimal number system, and the number system having the value of base 2 is called binary number system. The number system having the value of base as 8 is called octal number system. The number system having the value of base as 16 is called the hexadecimal number system. In decimal number system we have 10 different digits, which are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. So starting from 0 to 9, 10 digits can be represented. By using these 0 to 9 we are able to indicate the decimal number system. Similarly in binary system we have got 2 different digits, those are 0 and 1. By making use of 0 and 1, it is possible for us to formulate the binary system. Binary means it is only with the value of digits only 2, that is 0 and 1. In octal number system there are 8 digits, which are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. The number should not exceed a 7 at any point of time. Therefore in the octal system we are going to start from 0 and the last number ends up with the 7. Octal number system cannot have any digit greater than 7. That is the indication what we are going to give. Next, hexadecimal number system has 16 digits 0 to 9, and rest of the 6 digits, that is 10, 11, 12, 13 and 14 are specified by the letter symbols as capital A, means 10 can be represented as capital A, B can be represented for 11, C can be indicated for 12, and D can be indicated for 13, E can be indicated for 14, and for the last F we are going to indicate the 15 number. That is, A, B, C, D, E and F represents the decimal number 10, 12, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 and 15 respectively. For example, decimal number 25 value in binary number system can be expressed as 1, 1, 0, 0, 1. That is, 25 base 10 is equal to 1, 1, 0, 0, 1 base 2. Then the rightmost digit in any number system is called least significant bit or the least significant digit. That is, the most right digit in any number system can be treated as LSB, and the next one, the leftmost digit in any number system is called most significant bit or most significant digit, MSD. Most of the times when we are going to discuss the binary systems, then we are going to say the rightmost digit by LSB and leftmost digit by MSB. The general number system representation can be given in the following way, that is, capital N equal to D of n into r to the power n plus d minus 1 into r to the power n minus 1 plus d n minus 2 into r to the power n minus 2 plus so on, that may end up to d2 into r to the power square plus d1 into r to the power 1 plus d0 into r to the power n, where n is the value of entire number, dn is the value of the nth digit from the decimal point, and r is the radix or base. Total number of digits equal to n plus 1, that is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 up to n. Decimal number system. Decimal number system is a base 10 number system. Positional notation or positional weighting system is used. Each digit is multiplied by an appropriate power of 10. Just take an example. N equal to 6841. In given n total number of digits, n plus 1 is equal to 4. Therefore, n is equal to 3. For decimal system, radix or base value is 10. Consider n equal to dn into r to the power n plus dn minus 1 into r to the power minus 1 plus dn minus 2 into r to the power n minus 2 plus so on, d2 plus r into r square plus d1 into r to the power 1 plus d0 into r to the power 0. Then we can write in the position of capital N 6841, and dn we can write it as 6 into 10 to the power 3 and plus 8 into 10 to the power 2 plus 4 into 10 to the power 1 plus 1 into 10 to the power 0, that is equal to 6000 plus 800 plus 40 plus 1. Hence we can write it is 6841 is equal to 6841 base 10. Like that, the decimal system can be expressed with the base value 10. Now, binary system. Binary number system is a base 2 system where only the digits 0 and 1 are used. Using this numbering system, all numbers are represented by series zeros and ones. Bit is an abbreviated form of binary digits. 1 nibble is equal to 4 bits, and 1 byte can be represented with 8 bits, and one word must have 16 bits. Each 0 and 1 are termed as bits values. The binary system has base 2, thus each position has a value that is a factor of 2. Now look into the table. 2 to the power 4, 2 to the power 3, 2 to the power 2, 2 to the power 1 and 2 to the power 0 are representing exponential value of positions. Now similarly, if we are going to decode it to the decimal value, 2 to the power 4 looks to be 16, 2 to the power 3 looks to be 8, 2 to the power 2 looks to be 4, 2 to the power 1 looks to be 2 and 2 to the power 0 is equal to 1. That is indicated the individual value positions. With the fractional numbers, that is positions after the decimal point where the exponential value commences from -1 onwards. If the binary value is represented after the binary point or the decimal point, the first one may be multiplied with the 2 to the power -1, second binary value must be multiplied with 2 to the power -2 and third one is 2 to the power -3 and fourth one is 2 to the power -4 and so on. When the first value after the decimal point, when the first value 2 to the power -1 can be decoded as 1 divided by 2, second value 2 to the power -2 can be decoded as 1 by 4 and 2 to the power -3 can be decoded by 1 by 8 and 2 to the power -4 can be decoded by 1 by 16 with respect to the value in decimal. Now decimal to binary conversion. Just by considering a given number, decimal number before decimal point and divided successively by 2 until the number is not divisible by 2 and at the same time write remainder for every division at the RHS. Second point to be noted is write all the remainders from bottom to top gives the binary equivalent number of that given decimal number before decimal point. So for example, the value of decimal number is 105 with base 10 is equal to how much value in its binary. Then 105 value which is given in decimal must go on dividing by 2 as per the first instruction. That is, consider the given decimal number before the decimal point and divide successively by 2 until the number is not divisible by 2 and at the same time write number for every division at the RHS. That is 2, when it is going to be 105 is going to be divided by 2, then automatically 52 we are going to get as a quotient and remainder as 1. Once again the 52, if you are going to divide by 2, it divides with 26 and remainder may be equal to 0. So 26 divided by 2, once again if you are going to carry out, then quotient value may be 13, there is no remainder, and once again the 13 is going to be divided by 2 and the quotient value may be 6 and the remainder value may be 1. After that the 6, once again it is going to be divided by 2 and the quotient may be 3 and there is no remainder, and after later when 3 is divided by 2, one time it is going to be divided by one time and the remainder may be equal to 1. To write the equivalent value of 105 with base 10, then after completion of this successful computation we are going to write the binary remainder values in sequence from bottom to top. That is 1 1 0 1 0 0 1 with base value 2 looks to be equivalent of 105 in decimal value 10. When it comes to fractional value, for the conversion of fractional part of the decimal number, multiply it by 2 and write the carry, or if there is any digit goes beyond the fractional point, take out the carry and multiply it until it reaches 0 or until sufficient accuracy is obtained. Secondly, we should have to observe one more point. Write all the carriers generated from number of multiplication procedure from top to bottom to get the binary equivalent of decimal fractional part. The example may be given like this: 0.625 of base 10 is equal to how much value in its binary form. Then the value 0.625 we are going to multiply by 2 as per the first instruction. So then we are going to get 1.250 value. Here what we observed is 1 before the decimal point 1 has been generated. That's why the 1 is taken as carry and it is written in the right hand. Then automatically the remaining part 0.25 must be multiplied by once again by the number 2. So when we are going to multiply 0.250 by 2, it is leads to 0.500. Here carry is not observed, that is before the decimal point no value is observed, hence the carry position can be treated as equal to 0. Next, since it is less than 1, once again we can multiply the 0.500 by 2. At that time we may be getting the value 1.00. Now we should have to stop at this point and the binary values must be listed from top to bottom, exactly reverse to the previous. Then automatically the result how we can write is 0.0 or decimal value of 0.625 base 10 is equal to 0.101 base 2. That is hexadecimal, that is the decimal value of 0.25 can be written as 0.101 in binary. Next, one more example which is having the combination of both the value, decimal value before the decimal point and also the fractional value 0.45. So such kind of a case now we are going to see, that is the value given in the example is 65.45 base 10. It is equivalent to how much value in its binary form. Now take the value of the given decimal number 65 and just go on dividing by 2. So then first if you are going to divide 65 by 2, the quotient value may be 32 and the remainder may be 1. Once again the 32 is going to be divided by 2, the quotient value may be 16 and the remainder may be 0. And once again the 16 is going to be divided by 2, the quotient value may be 8 and the remainder may be 0. Once again the 8 is going to be divided by 2, at that time quotient value may be 4 and remainder is once again equal to 0. And once again the 4 can be divided by 2 and the quotient may be 2 and remainder may be 0. And once again if you are going to divide by 2 one time, it is going to divide and the remainder is once again equal to 0. Once again we are going to list the all binary numbers from bottom to top as discussed earlier. So now the value of 65 which is given in decimal can be rewritten in the binary format as 1000001 base 2. So next part if we are going to take, that is 0.45 base 10 is how to decode it into the binary form. So 0.45 must be multiplied by 2, it is equal to 0.90. The carry or the value 0.90 is less than 1, hence the carry is equal to 0. Once again that 0.90 must be multiplied by 2, that results in 1.80. Since the value is more than 1, then automatically 1 as taken as a carry. Once again 0.80 must be multiplied by 2, the result is equal to 1.60, hence this number is exceeding 1. Once again 1 is treated as carry and 0.60 must be multiplied by 2. So once again we are going to get 1.20, hence the value is exceeds 1. Once again we are going to take carry as 1 and remaining 0.20 must be multiplied by 2, that results in 0.40 and the carry is equal to 0. So once again there are chances of repeating any one of the number which already we have got in the list. So therefore we are considering this is the approximate value, and we are going to stop the iterations here, and we may be writing 0.45 base 10 may be equal to 0.01110 and so on with the base value 2. Hence finally while writing the result we may be concluding like this, and we may be indicating the result 65.45 decimal value may be equal to 1000001.01110 with base 2 or binary value. Binary to decimal conversion. Count the number or binary digit before the fractional binary or radix point and put the weight of each digit as 0, 1, 2 from right hand side and to left hand side. Let n is the total number of the bit or digit. The last digit has a weight of n minus 1. Next point, count the number of binary digits after the radix or binary point and put the weight of each digit as -1, -2, -3 from left hand side to right hand side. Let m is the number of bits. Last bit or digit has weight equal to 2 to the power minus m. Write the binary bit stream in generalized equation. Finally, add all the products which gives the number equivalent to the decimal number system. Say just an example, we can explain how to convert a binary number into digital or decimal number. So now the given number may be 10110.110 base 2 is converted into a decimal number. So now we are going to note down those numbers as shown below. So first we are going to consider the fractional point. For after the fractional point, the arrow mark is indicated in right direction for all the numbers which are before the fractional part is indicated with the arrow mark towards left. Now the decimal part means the value which is before the decimal point, we are going to see here the first number is 0 and that must be multiplied by 2 to the power 0. The next number is, when we are moving from right to left, the next number is 1, that 1 must be multiplied by 2 to the power 1, and next left digit is 1, then that also multiplied by 2 to the power 2, and the last one extreme last but the least one extreme left is once again 0, that must be multiplied by 2 to the power 3. The last number at the left extreme left, that what we are going to call it as a MSB, the most significant bit, that must be multiplied by 2 to the power 4. And similarly after the decimal point, the first number binary number must be multiplied by 2 to the power minus 1, second number must be multiplied by 2 to the power minus 2, the third number must be multiplied by 2 to the power minus 3. So when you are going to see the decimal equivalent values, we can list the most significant bit. If you are going to consider, the value becomes 16 and the next value becomes 0, 1 into 2 to the power 2 becomes plus 4, and 1 into 2 to the power 1 becomes 2, and 0 into 2 to the power 0 becomes 0. After the decimal point, 1 into 2 to the power minus 1 becomes 0.5, and the next number 1 into 2 to the power 2 becomes 0.25, and the last 0 value multiplied by 2 to the power minus 3 becomes 0. Hence the products must be added So that is 16 plus 0 plus 4 plus 2 plus 0 it may be equal to 22. Similarly, after the decimal point, 0.5 plus 0.25 plus 0, if we are going to add, that ends up with 0.75. Then finally, if we are interested to write the results must be noted in the another, that's the format, that is 10110.110 base 2 must be equal to 22.75 base 10, that is equivalent to decimal value. Next, binary to hexadecimal conversion. Group the given binary digits or bits from RHS to LHS. Before binary or radix point 4 bits at a time. If the last group is not equal to 4 bits, prefix the required number of zeros and the value will not change. Write the corresponding hexadecimal number for each group gives the hexadecimal representation of binary digits. Group the given digit or bit from LHS to RHS after of radix point 4 bits at a time. If the last group is not equal to 4 bits, postfix the required number of zeros and the value will not change. Write the corresponding hexadecimal equivalent number for each group gives the hexadecimal representation of binary digits. We will take an example of 10110101001.101011 base 2 must be equal to how much value in hexadecimal. So now we are going to write as it is the given number and we are going to start operating like after the decimal point we are going to take an arrow mark, okay, which is starting from the decimal point towards the right, and before the decimal point we are going to put one arrow mark that is leading towards the left. And now the given number, okay, we are before the decimal point the given number is going to be divided into 4 number groups. For example, the LSB part of the decimal, before the decimal part of the number is taken, that is the last 4, that is starting from LSB 1001 may be made a group of 4 number. The next 4 numbers like 0101 may be considered as a second group, and the next number set may be only 101. So but a minimum 4 number should be there, hence a prefixed 0 may be added, okay, means or 0 is added at the extreme left as a most significant bit. Since it is even though it is there in the most significant bit, it is equal to 0, it is not going to add any value and the change in the given number is not taking place. Similarly, when it comes to after the decimal point in the direction of the arrow mark, if you start okay, making the group of 4 binary numbers, the first group may be 1010 and the second group may be having only 11 as the last 2 numbers in the extreme LSB of the decimal part. Then automatically to make it into 4 numbers 2 zeros may be added, that we are going to say the adding zeros, that is postfixed. By adding the 00 at extreme right positions, the value of the given number may not get disturbed. Hence after that we are going to find the decimal equivalent of those groups. For example, LSB value of the before the decimal part 1001 can be written as 9 and 1010 can be written as 10 and 0101 can be written as 5. And similarly after the decimal point 1010 can be indicated as 10 and 1100 can be indicated as 12. Now if our intention is to convert these decimal number values into hexadecimal number, then the 5 it may be written as it is, the value 10 may be indicated in hexadecimal as A. The value of decimal 9 is written as 9 only in decimal hexadecimal also. Then once again after the decimal point the 10 value can be decoded as A and 12 may be decoded as C. So finally the value of the given binary number before the decimal point looks to be 5A9. After the decimal point it looks to be AC. So therefore the total number which is given in the binary form 101101010101.101011 with base 2 can be written as 5A9 point AC with base 16. Then hexadecimal to binary conversion. Since 2 to the power 4 is equal to 16, the number given in hexadecimal system is to be written in binary system by considering each hexadecimal bit from LHS to RHS and is to be written in its equivalent binary number. If the number is separated by hexadecimal or radix point in given hexadecimal number, then the hexadecimal or radix point is placed exactly at that place in binary number. For the hexadecimal number, the representation in binary number use only 4 binary bits. Example: 1ABC dot 2F base 16 is equal to how much value in its binary. The hexadecimal number 1ABC point 2F must be first written in the decimal form, that is 1 can be decoded as extreme, that is most significant digit of hexadecimal number. 1 can be decoded as 1 and A can be decoded in decimal as 10 and B value can be decoded in decimal 11 as 11 and C value in hexadecimal can be decoded as 12 in decimal, and after the decimal point 2 in hexadecimal can be treated as 2 in decimal also, and F in hexadecimal can be treated as 15 in its decimal form. After that the binary numbers may be represented for given decimal numbers. So that is it is the most significant bit 1 can be written in binary as 0001 and the value 10 which is indicated in the decimal value can be written as 1010 and 11 may be written 1011 and 12 may be written as 1100, and after the decimal point the 2 may be written as 0010 and 15 may be indicated in its binary form as 1111. Then the value 110101011100 before the decimal point, after the decimal point 00104 followed by 4 ones. So therefore hence the result can be written in the form 1ABC with decimal point 2F with base 16 can be rewritten as 1101010111100 with fractional value 00101111 with base 2. So this is the way how to convert the hexadecimal number given to binary number. Then decimal to hexadecimal conversion. Consider the given decimal number before decimal point and divide successively by 16 until the number is not divisible by 16, and at the same time write number of every division at the RHS. In this we may get remainder from 0 to 9 and A to F. Next, write all the remainder from bottom to top gives the binary equivalent number of that given decimal number before the decimal point. Now let us take an example 3516 base 10 which must be decoded into the hexadecimal value, that is base 16. Now the given number 3516 or 3516 must be divided by 16, then automatically the quotient value becomes 219 and the remainder may be 12. The 12 value in decimal can be coded as a C in hexadecimal, and once again the 219 must be divided by 16 At that time we are going to get 13 as a quotient value, and the remainder value may be 11 with decimal base 10. Then the remainder may be converted into a hexadecimal value. Equivalent of 11 in decimal may be coded as B in hexadecimal. Then once again, if we want to divide 13 by 16, it is not divisible, hence there itself we are going to stop, and we are going to take that 13 with the base 10 is equal to D base 16. Hence the given value of decimal, that is the 3516, can be rewritten as DBC base 16 or in hexadecimal equivalent. Then for fractional value we are going to take one example. In this case, how to follow the procedure. For the conversion of fractional part of the decimal number, multiply it by 16 and write the carry, or if there is any digit goes beyond the fractional point, take out the carry and multiply it until it reaches 0 or until sufficient accuracy is obtained. Next, write all the carriers generated from number of multiplication procedure from top to bottom to get the hexadecimal equivalent of decimal fractional part. Example, 0.86 of base 10 is equivalent to how much value in hexadecimal. For this, take 0.86 and multiply it by 16, that leads to 13.76. The value which is before the decimal point may be treated as the carry and with base 10. Then that must be converted into hexadecimal equivalent value. That 13 base 10 hexadecimal equivalent value can be rewritten as D base 16. Now once again that 0.76, the fractional value, must be multiplied by 16, and then the multiplication value may be 12.16 is equal to 12 base 10, and that can be decoded as C base 16, and after that 0.16 must be multiplied by 16 and it leads to 2.56, hence the value is 2 with base 10 can be treated as 2 with base 16. Finally, that 0.56 can be multiplied by 16 and it goes up to 8.96, and the 8 is the carry. That 8 cannot be decoded another way, okay, but only the option is 8 base 16. Therefore, still it is possible for us to continue, but that is with what we said is, when it looks to be approximate, then we should have to stop, and 0.86 base 10 can be equivalent to DC to 8 base 16. And similarly, combined value of example can be treated where 988 0.86 of base 10 is equivalent to how much value in base 16. So similarly, the procedure what we followed is followed to divide 988 with 16, and finally we are going to achieve 3DC with base 16, and then the fractional value, that is 0.86, already we have done that solution. With that we can conclude that is 0. DC28 with base 16. Combining 988 or 988.86 in decimal can be coded as 3DC.DC28 base 16. Then the remaining portions we are going to cover in most probably in the next session, and I may conclude this session with the conversion of the decimal number into hexadecimal number.